Okay, so welcome. Oh gosh, this is great. I see Sonia and Darlene and Laura and let's see, who else do I see over here? Okay, bunches of us. This is great. All right. Okay, excellent. Oh, and Michelle's here. Hello. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Well, we are going to get started. There's Sarah. Wonderful. Okay. We're going to get started with the warm-up. So I hope you downloaded today's PDF. There's just one page of it. Mary's here from Ohio. Yay. We're going to get started right away on this warm-up. Let me just welcome a few more people here. We've got Debbie and John. Debbie in Augusta, Georgia. And so they're still trying to figure out how to hold the masters, aren't they? Okay, John from Vermont. Oh, it's Carol. It says John, but it is Carol from Vermont. Hi, Carol. And Ebby's here. Welcome, Ebby. I'm glad you got the link that I sent you. And Lee is here once again from Minnesota. We've got Georgia and Minnesota, two different weather lands, right? And Pam. Hi, Pam. And Laura's in Winchester, Kentucky. Oh, I love Winchester, Kentucky. We have often driven through there. Beautiful country. And Beverly's here. Hi, Beverly. In Florida is Beverly. And the Masters is now November 9th to 15th. I knew that they were working on holding it. So good. Okay. Let's get started with this warm-up. Now your harp is all in all naturals, right? Oh, who did I just miss checking in here? Oh, I can't read today. Okay, good. Oh, Henrico, Georgia. Okay. I mean, Virginia. All right, time to play the harp. Okay, but our warm-up, even though we're still in all naturals, we're not so much in C major today, are we? This warm-up is much more about A minor. And it's sort of tuneful, but it's all based on the patterns, kind of patterns that we play in bass things or in melodies. Sometimes right hand and left hand both get these patterns. And so we're going to work at these alternating things. What I'd like to do is do just the right hand for right now for those first three measures. And this, you'll notice, is a 3-1-2-1 for one measure, and then a 4-1-2-1. Woo. And we're going to go back and forth on those quarter notes and stick with the quarter notes for just a moment. Hello, Susan in Vermont, Burlington, Vermont. Okay, quarter notes. So the first two measures, sit up tall, relax. We're going to go nice and slowly. So play at a nice, soft kind of volume if you haven't played yet today. Think about closing your fingers, keeping your arms steady, and just making your placing as clean as possible. So from the first two measures only, ready, go. 3, 1, 2. Reach down there with your fourth finger, get your thumb back up, place just the next finger, repeat those measures again. Just one finger at a time. You don't want to overcomplicate this. This is just placing the next finger. We'll do those two measures one last time. There you go. Now go on to the next measure. It's the same thing but twice as fast. Ready and let's go. And play this measure a few times. Can you keep up that speed? I know it's a little bit faster for sure. Oops, I fell off. Now that little segment of the warm-up is really great for making sure that you're, first of all, at the slower tempo, the quarter note tempo, preparing your fingers properly so that they're doing the right thing and your placing is very clean. And then when you move along and do the eighth note version, you're working at putting a little bit of speed to it. So both of those things are important. And so those three measures are really great to work on just the way we did, where you're doing it slowly for correct and precise placing, and then a little bit faster for developing a little bit of speed. Now we're going to do the same thing in the left hand. So this starts on the last measure of the first line, and we've got two measures that are quarter note measures, exactly like the right hand, but an octave lower. And we'll do those for a while, and then we'll go on to the eighth note measure, okay? So we're working on these next three measures, starting at the end of the first line. Here we go. You ready? Left hand, sitting up straight again, nice and relaxed, supporting from your core. Your feet are flat on the floor. You're not sitting side saddle. Okay, here we go. Ready? Left hand. Let's go. Nice and slowly. I'm doing my left hand just a tad slower than my right hand, partly because I think think it might be easier for you, and partly because that's easier for me too. Once more, I think, those two measures, once more. Nice and relaxed. Close everything. Be sure your fingers close. And now we'll go on to that eighth note measure, and we'll do that a few times. You ready? And 1, 2, 3, 4. Again. And one more time. All right. There we go. All right. Once again, those little measures that we just did, the right hand and then the left hand by themselves, that's almost like one exercise that you could do and you could work on. Now we have another group. And so, you know, I could have organized these pages a little bit differently, but it would have taken more space. So I probably should have put letter names in. Might be something to do in the future. So now we're going to start at measure 7, which is the third measure on the second line. And take a look at this pattern. We'll look at it hands separately first, and then your right hand and left hand will get to do it hands together, and then your left hand gets to play the pattern with the right hand octaves. And this takes you down through measure 14, the first measure on the bottom line. But let's just look at the right hand doing this pattern, starting in measure 7. So it's these quarter notes, and then your third finger moving down to the G, third finger moving down to the F, and then fourth finger on the E. Okay, do you see how that pattern works? You see? All right, and let's start there again, and let's do just right hand one more time. All right, so we're starting with our third finger on the A. Here we go. 3. Oops, woo, that was ugly. Sorry. Let's start again. I need to sit straighter. Here we are, sitting straight. Breathing out. Okay, ready? Go. And third finger on the G. Third finger on the F. Fourth finger on the E. And let's do it one more time. So repeat those measures going back to the A. It's kind of pretty, isn't it? There's a nice sound to it. Prettier than last week's warm-up. Third finger on the F. Fourth finger on the E. All right, and we'll call that a day. Now let's go back and let's do those same measures, but with the left hand this time. The fingering's exactly the same, but your left hand gets to have all the fun. Here we go. So from measure 7 again, left hand. Ready? Go. Your fourth finger right here, and we'll repeat these measures. Back to measure 7. Third finger on the A. Oops. I didn't place that well and I buzzed. And fourth finger on the E. And we'll stop. Now we'll do it hands together, and we'll do it hands together just a couple of times, and then we'll try the pretty part that comes after. But let's do those 4 measures hands together again. Sitting straight. Now with your hands both on the strings, you can feel a little bit more balanced, right? Make sure you're sitting straight, not crooked, skewed to one side or another. Okay, here we go from measure 7, both hands. We'll do those 4 measures twice, just the way we did. Okay, ready? Go. And let's repeat those measures, do them again. Should close all the way. Every finger, oops, sorry about that, should close all the way into your hand. Okay, let's take a peek. Now your left hand's going to do the same thing, but your right hand is going to play some octaves with it. It makes a pretty little tune, a pretty little pattern. Just check out those right hand octaves to make sure that you know what those notes are. It's actually two measures of notes that are repeated. It's an A and a D and a C and a B. Ooh, that's not in tune. And an A and a D again and a C. That's barely in tune, but the B's I'm going to fix because that's just not very pretty. Okay. All right. As you play those right hand octaves, remember that you want your hand nicely centered between 1 and 4, and you want both fingers to close. You see? Both fingers to close. And don't forget to close your pinky, right? It should always close. Don't leave him sticking out. Okay. All right, let's do those measures. We'll go nice and slowly. Okay, here we go. So about 1, your left hand knows what it's doing already, right? So that's our quarter note tempo. So you have plenty of time for your right hand. Ready? Go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, and we'll repeat 3, 4 again. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. It's pretty, isn't it? Makes a pretty little thing all by its little self. All right, let's move right along. There's a lot to cover here. This is a different pattern, and your right hand will start it, starting in the second measure on the bottom line, measure 15. Your right hand will start, and then your left hand will join in. And so let's try it exactly that way. But, oh man, I don't know, maybe we should look at the pattern first. Do you think? Let's try some right hand. So up here on this A, it's a 3-2-1-2 pattern and then a 4-2-1-2 in the last measure. So this is the last 4 measures on the first page. Just right hand, ready, go. Oops, that was a buzz. Okay, let's look at those again. Now I know that these are ledger lines and the notes look pretty high, but what you want to do is just remember to use the shapes to help you, right? It's just an A minor triad, then G major, and then F major, and then the next one is the different one, the E, B, E, right? So use those shapes, that sort of, you know, skip a string sort of triad shape, basic 3-note chord shape. So that's what we're looking for. Let's do just the right hand one more time. Ready? Go. That's it. Now, how about if we move ahead on the page to the top of the second page and do the left hand, just the left hand by itself, okay? Give it its shot. Now, it's the same pattern as the right hand, but it's 2 octaves lower. So let's give it a try. Ready? Go. 3. It's exactly the same fingering, too, if you have any question. 3. The next measure. Here's our 4-2-1-2, and then let's just repeat those measures one more time, just to give the left hand a second shot at it. because we can, let's start from measure 15 again, where the right hand does it by itself. And then, oh, wait, I know. We should actually go on. Let's go on first. And let's look at on the second page, the last measure on the first line. It's actually measure 23. Your right hand's going to do the same pattern it's been doing, but your left hand has half notes here. So just take a quick look at those and see what those notes are. I'll go through those half notes one more time. You realize we'll play them slower when the time comes, but it's a C and an A and a B and a G and an A and an F, oop, and an E and another E. Okay, now we're going to put it together just like a little bit of a piece, and we are going to go back to measure 15, and we'll play from measure 15 all the way through to measure whatever it is, 26, where we just stopped. Okay, so here we go. I suggest you do this. We're going to start in those measures that are just right hand, but we know that left hand's coming up. So if you can get your left hand on those strings to start where your left hand's going to start on this lower A, you can have your left hand all ready to go. Placing ahead is a pretty good thing. So, all right, let's start from measure 15 with your left hand ready for its notes. You ready? 3, 4. Ready? Here we go. And now we have hands together. Now we move on, and the left hand will have half notes now. How about if we repeat these 4 bars? Okay. So we're going to go back to where the half notes start right now. Okay, all right, and we'll stop right there. Okay, so far so good, yes? Well, the next few bars are a little bit trickier. We have one more tricky pattern, and then we have the last line, which is just sort of a nice little ending. This pattern asks you to do this. Do you see the placing brackets? The idea here is to place all 4 fingers on the string. So your right hand will be playing C, and it's going to place the C, the A, the B, and the G, all 4 fingers on, but then play them out of order. You're going to play the C, then the A, then the B. Before you play the G, replace your thumb for the next group, place all 4 fingers, and then do it again. Now you can see where this tests your agility and tests the independence of your fingers, and that's the point, right? So let's try it again. Your thumb's going to be on the C, all 4 fingers on, and we'll do these 2 measures, just right hand, a few times. You ready to play? Okay, all 4 fingers on, ready, go. The C, the A, the B, replace your thumb on the A here. There we go. Next 4 fingers all on. Place up to the C, and let's repeat them. All 4 fingers. Get your thumb on. Replace all of them. And one more time. Get your thumb back up to the C, and we'll do them one last time. Place your thumb. There you go. It's a tricky pattern. It's definitely worth practicing, even if you have to practice it slower, because that coordination is so helpful to us to be able to do that. All right, that was right hand. You can tell what comes next, right? The next line Measure 29, same thing, but with the left hand. So you're going to put all 4 fingers on the C, the B, the A, and the G, and then we'll play them in the appropriate order, C, A, B, G. So it's the same thing as the right hand, but you may find this is a trickier coordination, or you may find that your left hand is really good at this. Sometimes it works that way too. So let's do these 2 measures, and we'll do them a few times. Ready? Go. Replace your thumb. Replace everything. Place up to the C. Place everything. Place your thumb. Place everything. One last time. We're going to replace up to the C. There we go. Place everything. Place your thumb. Place everything. All right. Good. You ready to try that hands together? Of course you are. Once again, your hands are 2 octaves apart. So gives you plenty of room to work. You ready? So we're doing the last 2 measures on the next to the last line. So this is measures 31 and 32. Next time I do this warm up, I'm going to put letters in so we can talk easily about these groupings. All right, here we go. So these are the hands together measures at the end of the 3rd line. Ready? Go. Replace your thumbs. Place everything. Place up to the C again. You ready? Go and repeat. Oops, that was a little sloppy. Up to the C again. One last time, these measures. How did that work for you? Okay, we're going to do those measures. We're going to play them twice more. So we're going to repeat the hands together measures we just did, and we'll do them 2 times through. And then we're going to go on and just finish out the rest. Now, but take a look at what's coming on that last line. You've played these quarter notes, but not that fast. Then your thumbs will replace your right hand back to the C, but your left hand on the A, so that you're playing in tenths and you're playing in eighth notes. So if our quarter notes were this slow, 2, then our eighth notes in measure 33 will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, and watch this, 2, 3, 4, 1. Okay, so we're going to go back and start in measure 31. That's the hands together measure. Okay, we're going to do those 2 measures 2 times and then go on to the ending. And then we're going to play the whole thing through. Oh, it's pretty. You'll like it, I promise. Okay, so measure 31. And we're going to play those 2 measures 2 times and then go on. All right, ready? Go. 1, 2. Replace your thumbs. Replace everything. Good. Go back. Now be prepared to go on. Look where your thumbs need to go. 3 and 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay? Work out okay so far? All right, so take a deep breath, make sure you're nice and relaxed, and shake your hands out if you need to, loosen up those shoulders. We are going to play the entire warm-up right now, and we're going to play it from the beginning straight through to the end with no breaks between anything, but we're also not going to do any repeats. Okay, so no repeats, no anything. We're just going to play beginning to end. And if, before we do that, if you have a question or something, type it in the chat so that I can see it there, and I will get to it before we go on. Let's see, I'm looking at the people over here on Facebook who I haven't had to say hello to. We have Frank from Paris. Woohoo! Let's see. Beth is saying it's 85 degrees on the Mississippi Gulf Coast. I'm so envious. We had snow this morning. Let's see. The PDF is, somebody asked where they get the PDF. I'll type it into the chat again for you. I typed it in before, but if you go to this page, you'll be able to download today's PDF. And of course, it'll be on the Warmup replay page too, but right now you can get it right there. Okay, so there's the link for the PDF. No problem. But let's go and let's do this again, shall we? Okay, oh, wait. And there's Beth. Hang on here. I thought I said Beth. Okay, maybe I didn't. All right, there we go. All right, got it. Okay, so Beth is on the Mississippi Gulf Coast. I just love it. All right, here we are. Pretty cold in West Virginia, 38. Yeah, we had snow today too. So chilly here. Okay, you ready? You can pull your harps back. You can make sure you're seated properly, seated firmly on your chair. Feel those sit bones. Feel that you're supporting from your core, sitting up straight. Your harp is happy. You can give it a nice little pat because it's doing such a good job. All right, and so are you. You can give yourself a pat on the shoulder if you want. Okay, we're going to play all the way through the warm-up, nice and slowly, no repeats and no stopping. Okay, let me see. What did Maris just type in? She said, oh, it just dumps me back here. Oh, you'll catch it on, oh, really? If you click the PDF thing, it should click you through to the, oh, maybe it doesn't at this point because it works like a webinar. The PDF link, then you'll have to get in the replay. You'll be able to get it in the replay. Sorry about that. Okay, and let's see. For a beginner, she says, what would be the best way to approach this type of warm-up? Slowly and in small groups. Slowly the way we're doing it, but consider the first 6 measures perhaps to be one separate warm-up, exactly the way we're doing. And then do the next group of measures from like measure 7 to measure 14 as a different warm-up so that you're not overloading yourself with too much stuff. But the best way to approach this is the same way anybody would approach this warm-up or any warm-up. You want to think about your posture, your hand position, your arm position, and your finger motion. This is a chance to just check your technique, make sure everything's closing, make sure everything is nice and relaxed, make sure your hand doesn't have any extra motion in it. And if the transition from quarter note to eighth note is too fast, what we're doing today, you do it at your own tempo. And if you can't get it exactly eighth note and quarter note, with equal beats, don't worry about that for now, work up to it. But these are patterns that everyone should know, whether you're a beginner or an advanced person. So be sure to do that. You see, Beth says, thank you for helping me make my harp happy. Oh, I haven't been playing and it's lonely. Yeah, no, this is the time to play. We need it. Our harps need it, right? Harps are always happier when they're being played. They don't like to be neglected. They sound better and they stay in tune better, and they do better when they're played. Instruments are not, particularly with one with so much organic material in it, they're not meant to be left alone. Everybody does better, harp and harpist, when they're playing. Your team. Okay, here we go. So I'm glad it's encouraging and helpful. That is what I wanted to hear, Beth. Thank you. All right, let's go back to the beginning. You ready? Sitting, breathing, all that good stuff. All right, I actually, knowing that I'm going to start right hand, but I'm going to go on with left hand, I'm going to get my left hand can't get set ahead of time because my right hand's going to use that note. All right, left hand will have to jump on. And you're welcome. I'm glad that was helpful to you. Okay, as I'm looking through some chat here. Okay, here we go. 3, 4, 1. Not my best thumb, but there we go. 2. Now going on to those eighth notes. 4 and 1. 2. Get your left hand ready. 3, 4. Going on with left hand. 1, 2. Remember, we're not doing any repeats today. 4, 1, 2, 3. And here comes some eighth notes. 1. Get your right hand ready. 4. We'll do this hands together right here. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1. And then we're up to those right hand octaves coming up now. 1, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1. And we're going to go on here. 3. So there's some right hand here. 2, 3, 4. Now, if you're able to, remember your left hand's going to come up here and you can get that ready for its little pattern. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. We're on the second page now and they're hands together, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. Going on. Your left hand has half notes here. 'We're going to go on to the next pattern for, this is that 4 fingers at a time, right? You might want to think about getting your left hand ready because we're going to go on. Your left hand gets a shot at it. Whoa, I played the wrong note, sorry. 1, 2, and here comes some hands together. And now our ending, the last line. You ready? And 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, very good. Now when you do this on your own, you can throw in as many repeats as you want. You can do it in sections, the way I was saying before, so you don't go through the whole thing. And you can do it slower or you can do it faster, right? It depends on how warmed up you are. I mean, you know, that little stuff that starts at bar 11 is a really pretty piece at this tempo. So, you know, at a faster tempo, it can turn into something else. So you get to choose your tempo, you get to choose how much of it you do, you get to choose the repeats. The important thing is that when you're using it as a warm-up, you're using your very best posture, your very best hand technique and arm position, your very best finger motion, and that you're staying relaxed, not overplaying, not too loud, not too soft, just nice and medium. Can you oscillate your fingers? I wouldn't here, just because it's so slow. And you don't oscillate your fingers, you oscillate your wrist. Darlene's talking about oscillation, and that would happen in a pattern, particularly like the first one. And when you're going this slowly, you don't need to. It really works. I mean, this is a pattern that you might want to oscillate on, or this one too, you could also oscillate. Oscillation is a topic for another day, but it's using your wrist to help your thumb avoid fatigue in a long repeated pattern. So you could oscillate your wrist there, but it's not necessary in this. And for the purposes of a warm-up, we're more interested here in closing your fingers rather than worrying about oscillation. As I said, that is a topic for another day, but it's a great question, Darlene. Elizabeth says, thanks, Anne. It's been a lovely warm day here in England. Oh, I envy you. Is there a replay of Tuesday's call on practice schedules? No, there aren't replays on the Tuesday's call. If you're on the Facebook group, it's still posted there, so you can see it there. But we haven't been doing, aside from that one where the my internet quit on me. Aside from that one, we haven't, or it wouldn't log on to Facebook. Aside from that, we haven't been doing replays of the Tuesdays calls. So, you know, you sort of have to, and it's mostly because we have so many things going on at the moment that we haven't been doing that. But if you, oh, look at that. Carol says she almost kept up this time. Woohoo! Yay! Good for you. I'm excited. Yeah, so we haven't been doing replays of the Tuesday call. These are all going up on the replay page, and you're able to access all of these. So, so that's good. The we might have to get to the practice schedule information. We might have to do another call on that at some point. Let's see. Thanks. And this fits with the Hands Untogether theme. Yes, it does. It fits right with the My Harp Mastery theme, doesn't it? Also great, very challenging for me. I think it's challenging for a lot of people. Our Hands Together, Hands Untogether My Harp Mastery theme is working on this whole independence of hands and fingers. Lisa, she's been excited to try all of this all week. Snowing and 29 here in northern Minnesota. I know, I'm so ready for spring. I bet you are too. Stephanie said, in my head, my default subdividing setting is 8th notes. Working on 16th notes. What's your default subdivision? There is, well, I mean, I guess we get used to thinking in 8th notes, but you know, you just sort of have to use them all, don't you? They all have to be available to you. I don't think I have a default subdivision. I haven't thought about that. I will give that some thought though, Stephanie, and see what I can come up with. John, who is not John, I said, oh, I forget who it is. I got to scroll back up and remember. Wait, I'll find it. It is Carol. I was right. It was Carol. I just should have said it. Okay, so Carol says, thanks so much. It's great to have some time together with other harpists, isn't it? Isn't it? I know. Oh, good. Darlene says things are better today. Good. I'm glad. Nancy says it's sunny mid-40s at 7:30 in the morning in Victoria. Oh, gosh. All right. I'll take the sunshine. Michelle says this warm-up seems like it could be used for harp therapy in a clinical environment. Well, sure. It's sort of seamless, improvisatory sort of feel to it. So it absolutely could. Sylvia says, it's very challenging, but I feel comfortable about being able to do what you're demonstrating. Sylvia, that is fabulous news, because that's, you know, that's where it starts. Just being able to dive into some of this, because these are the kinds of things that will move your playing forward much faster, to be able to work on some technical stuff that that is absolutely foundational. So this is so important to the rest of your playing. Good job. Jennifer says, I love these warm-ups. They're really challenging. Well, I'm glad you're finding them challenging, and I'm glad they're fun for you. Stephanie is responding to Michelle saying, I was thinking the same thing, Ray, clinical environment. Yeah, I can definitely see that. Let me pop over. Apparently I can't access the PDF myself today. So if you didn't get it when you signed up, you'll be able to get it on the replay page. So when this replay is posted, it will come out in your email, and you'll be able to find it right on the replay page where all the other replays are. So guaranteed you'll be able to get the PDF. So it'll be there for you. I'm sorry that you missed it ahead of time. Let's see, Mary says, placing and playing measure 31 is hard for me to do. Yes, I would say that measures 31 and 32, and maybe even all the way through to the end, but 31 and 32 particularly are the most challenging, because the placing requirements are so specific and a little bit out of the ordinary. Important for us to learn. Tricia says, these warm-ups are helping me to slow down and pay more attention to my fingers, closing and placement, etc., which is all good. Yeah, it is good. And that's a wonderful and necessary part of your technique. If you don't take some time every time you play to really look at how your fingers are doing and to check in with your body and your posture and your position, you're really cheating yourself from from some of the good benefits here that you should be getting, and things you should be working on every day. Oh, Phyllis is here, I see, on the Facebook group. Hey, hi, Phyllis. Nice to have you here from Ontario. Nancy says, thank you, Anne. This is an enjoyable challenge, getting all 4 fingers to play so close together and in different combinations. Yes, I think it's enjoyable too, and I'll tell you, this is an easy one. I mean, I know it's tricky, but there are much trickier accordions. And if you've been working our hands together theme on My Harp Mastery, you've seen a couple of those. A couple of ones that are trickier than these. These are a piece of cake compared to some of those. Susan says, it sounds lovely. I can't quite keep up, but slowly but surely. Excellent. Well, and you are very welcome. Yeah, it's a pretty sounding one, I think. I told you after last week's that this week would be prettier. And Maris likes these too. I love these. I have fun with these. I'm glad you too. All right, I'm going to let you all go. And because the sooner I let you go, the sooner the recording will post and we can get you the replay and the PDF so that you can go back over this. So you'll have that as soon as we can work it out. I thought it was on the still up on the page, but I see that it didn't work that way. So all right, we will get all that information to you soon, and you can work on this warm up. And if you head over to the replay page, let me see if I can find that link for you. Let me see. I think I can. Let me see if I can come up with that. It didn't quite work. Let me see. I should have that link for you, and I don't, and I'm sorry. I should have it at my fingertips. Didn't quite work. Let me try it this way. I should have had that link. No, that one didn't work. I promise we'll get you the links. And you can, because there is a beautiful page that has all of those things on it. So you'll be able to find all the PDFs. Sorry, I didn't have that for you. Michelle loves this gentle warm up too. I'm so glad. All right, I will let you all go, and I will see you all very soon, either on the My Harp Mastery call on Monday, or I think we have a Facebook Live again on Tuesday. And we've got some other stuff coming up. I've got some other exciting stuff that's coming up, our 15 minutes of focus challenge, and one other big surprise that we're working on. So we've got all kinds of good stuff coming up and ways to stay connected. And I'm just so grateful that you all are here, and I will see you all very soon. All right. Have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your day, and a happy Easter to all of you. Okay. Bye-bye.